Natasha, nice to see you ya. Just quick question aja ya. Before, congratulations on the release of the film The Golden Rule.
Thank you.
Oke, Nana nanti bantu aku ya kalau ada yang kurang paham.
Please help me translate.
Okay, one question. What is meant by the Golden Rule?
The Golden Rule is a universal value that is common to every faith, whether we are discussing Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Confucianism, Taoism, it doesn't matter. The Golden Rule, do unto others as you would want to have done to yourself, is universal in each.
Jadi dia Golden Rule-nya dari setiap agama, dan kita mau film ini untuk bisa menyebarkan tidak hanya tingkat timbal balik ini ke dunia.
Oke, intinya the point is toleransi. Toleransi bagaimana?
So she said that the film is about tolerance.
Yes, about tolerance ya. Okay, what is the basis for you to do campaign about the Golden Rule?
What is the
Bagaimana apa yang mendasari mengkampanyekan the Golden Rule ini?
What moved your heart to promote the Golden Rule?
Okay.
We are living in a world that is very violent, that is prejudicial, that has so much hate from one to another, that as a grandmother with 13 grandchildren, I am so concerned about the world in which they are living. When I was a young child, we were taught civility, the Golden Rule, in the classroom. Today, it's not being taught. And civility is not in the human genome. Tolerance needs to be taught. And that's what motivated me with regard to producing this documentary.
Jadi Golden Rule ini toleransi itu tidak ada di genom manusia. Jadi katanya kita berharap film ini biar bisa membuat orang-orang tahu kalau ini betapa pentingnya sih Golden Rule ini.
Sangat penting ya untuk etika timbal balik. Okay, but now what do you think about the Generation Z and Millennial?
What are your thoughts with the young generations, the Gen Z and the Millennials?
I'm concerned about them. In the United States, for example, for the young, for Generation Z, if they want to join a gang, the initiation is to go and do a random shooting. We have time and again instances where a young person will take a gun, go into a classroom, go into a cafeteria in school, and simply shoot everybody. That's not what God commanded. If we look at each religion, God is saying, treat your neighbor like you yourself want to be treated. Do unto another as you would want to have done to yourself. And don't do to another what you would not want to have done to yourself. And if we don't teach the younger generation how to be tolerant, then we are going to see even more violence. And that's a problem.
Bagaimana upaya film ini atau etika etika timbal balik ini atau the Golden Rule ini tertanam di Gen Z dan milenial?
Tadi jawabannya tadi saya rangkum dulu.
Iya.
Jawaban tadi itu kata Princess Cheryl melihat banyaknya kekerasan, apalagi dengan Gen Z dan millennials. Kalau kita ngeliat di berita-berita kan banyak
Iya.
penembakan dan lain-lain.
Iya.
Justru merasa sangat sedih dan merasa film ini semakin penting untuk ada.
Iya.
Nah, tadi pertanyaannya bagaimana cara
Iya,
mengaplikasikannya?
mengaplikasikannya, upayanya untuk bisa teori the golden rules ini tertanam di Gen Z dan milenial.
How do you teach the youngs about the golden rule in Ethiopia?
Teaches the Golden Rule. The initiative was founded on the core of the Golden Rule. First, you have to listen to children. What are they afraid of? What are their fears? The fear of a 5-year-old is going to be very different than the fear of a 16-year-old. And yet, when you become afraid, when you become anxious, and you're not aware of what your options are, you can become violent. You become defensive. So the Visions of Peace first listens. Then we teach them about the Golden Rule. Next, after they learn, we ask, use any art modality that you choose. And tell Natasha, express what your vision of a peaceful tomorrow is. And let's work together so that when you go back to your family, you'll be more sensitive, empathetic to what your family needs. When you're in school, similarly, you'll be more compassionate, sensitive to what your other students, your friends need. And then a step later, as you mature, look in your community and see how you can improve. And the way to really consider this, think about a stone. You throw a stone into a pond and it ripples. That's what we're doing. So I could influence you, and from you it will ripple and you'll influence another. And so step by step, ripple by ripple, we influence.
Dimulai dengan step yang kecil, habis itu bisa berlanjut lagi seperti ripple katanya. Jadi kayak genangan air yang kalau dilempar batu kan bisa langsung berripple. Jadi kita dimulai dengan hal kecil dulu dengan komunitas kita tersendiri. Dan bisa dimulai dari berbagai macam hal ya, seperti Visions of Peace Initiative menggunakan art modalities, kesenian, dan juga hal-hal lainnya.
Cheryl atau Natasha boleh ya menanggapi. Saya ingin bertanya, apa yang ada di pikirannya Miss Cheryl tentang karakter bangsa Indonesia?
What are your thoughts about the Indonesian?
No, don't. I must tell you, the world needs to learn from Indonesia, from the motto, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, to respect diversity, accept diversity, and yet have unity. Unfortunately, throughout the world, we have diversity, but we have prejudice. We have no respect. We don't have unity. And so we need to learn, including the United States, needs to learn from Indonesia.
Dunia harus belajar dari Indonesia, katanya, dengan motonya Bhinneka Tunggal Ika.
Iya. Senang sekali ya Indonesia dipandang luar. Kita menjadi apa ya, tolak ukur gitu ya. Sebenarnya memang Indonesia juga masih harus sangat-sangat belajar karena tidak mudah untuk bisa menjaga perdamaian di mana suku kita itu banyak sekali, agama kita juga banyak di sini, ada 6 agama, jadi memang tidak mudah untuk mengelola Indonesia. It's not difficult.
She said that thank you for your appreciation to Indonesia, but she thinks as an Indonesian we have so much to learn.
Everybody needs to be taught
Yeah.
the golden rule, whether you're Indonesian
Okay.
or American
Yeah.
or French, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you have a stepping stone that we don't have. And the stepping stone is that motto that gets you above all others. But you still need to learn.
Everybody has to learn about the golden rule.
Exactly.
Oke, bagaimana menjaga untuk Miss Cheryl kan sudah banyak ya konsistensi di bidang sosial, toleransi, perdamaian. Bagaimana menjaga konsistensi?
You have worked for humanity for many years. How do you stay consistent?
How do I stay consistent? My father was a clergyman. He was a rabbi. And so our home was grounded in faith. Faith and belief that there's a God. And that we as humankind need to do our best to follow the teachings of God. And so when you grow up, and this comes back to education, when you grow up in a home where tolerance, where compassion is fundamental to your everyday life, you don't deviate. And so from then till today, I'm following in the footsteps of my great-grandparents, my grandparents, my parents, and I hope that my children will be following in my footsteps, and my grandchildren will also follow in this manner. So I'm fortunate, I was lucky. I grew up with this as my education, but I want to share it with others who have not had this blessing to be so educated.
Caranya untuk stay konsisten adalah kita harus melihat, karena kan dia lahir dari keluarga yang religius katanya, banyak melihat, jadi beliau merasa bahwa manusia itu perlu untuk belajar bahwa Tuhan itu adalah kasih gitu. Jadi kita harus belajar akan ajaran Tuhan bahwa Tuhan itu kasih dan tidak mau hal-hal yang berbau intoleransi dan lain-lain.
Oke, sebelum terakhir, harapan apa yang Miss Cheryl inginkan untuk generasi muda kita saat ini?
Last question from her. What are your thoughts for the young generations? I mean, your hope.
My hope? I hope that the golden rule and civility will be reintroduced into the schools, into the curriculum, which, if you watch the documentary, the closing scene of the documentary are children who are asking for the golden rule to be taught in school. So I pray that for all faiths, wherever a person lives, for all the zones of conflict, we will teach the golden rule, and by so doing, encourage tolerance, encourage respect, listen to one another, and then understand, I don't need to impose on you. You don't need to impose on me for us to be sisters.
Jadi beliau berharap bahwa golden rule ini bisa ada di kurikulum sekolah. Itu adalah tujuan kita, berharap bahwa itu bisa diajarkan dan bisa terus konsisten untuk semoga tiap dari generasi muda sampai sudah besar bisa tahu tentang golden rule ini.
Sangat terima kasih loh Miss Cheryl, ini sudah mengkampanyekan mempertanyakan teori the golden rule. Semoga generasi kita ke depannya memang harus menyadari, nggak hanya generasi ke depan, nggak hanya generasi muda, tapi mungkin kita semua harus belajar tentang golden rule itu sendiri. Mau dijelasin?
She said that thank you so much for your effort to make this world a better place. She hopes that the golden rule, not only the curriculum at school and the youngs, but also the adults will learn about golden rule.
Well, that's what the clergymen in the film have said. They recognize that they have a need to speak to the adults in order that parents are able to teach the children at home to reinforce what you learn at school.
Itu yang ada di film, di mana dikatakan sama salah satu tokoh agamanya bahwa film Golden Rule ini harus diajarkan ke orang tua dan guru-guru untuk disalurkan kepada yang
Semoga bisa terrealisasi Golden Rule ini ada atau diajarkan oleh sekolah-sekolah atau pendidikan kita ya. Amin ya. Oke. Miss Cheryl, nice to see you. Thank
Always,
you for today.
thank you.
Okay, for the last closing statement dari Natasha dan Miss Cheryl.
closing statement.
Balik ke
A closing statement. Thank you for listening to Natasha and myself. I hope that you will share the documentary with your friends, with your family, so that more and more people will be exposed to the lessons of the Golden Rule. And going back to that ripple analogy, the ripples will continue to expand and more people will be touched.
Kami harap film ini dapat menginspirasi semakin banyak individu yang terinspirasi dengan film ini bisa lanjut lagi menyalurkannya ke orang-orang lain.
Okay, thank you Natasha.
Thank you.
Thank you Miss Cheryl.
Terima kasih.
Ya, perkenalkan, nama saya Om Jin, sahabat anak Indonesia. Iya. Dan saya membuat sebuah lagu yang berjudul Om Jin, sahabat anak Indonesia, itu dalam versi 3 bahasa, Mbak. Ada bahasa Indonesia, bahasa Inggris, dan bahasa Mandarin. Dan hari ini Om Jin hadir ditemani dengan beliau ini, Bang Iwan, beserta bonekanya. Ya, siapa namanya? Waninan. Waninan, iya. Mengenai film ini saya sangat terenyuh sekali ya, sesuai dengan culture dan budaya Indonesia. Ya, karena Indonesia itu kan terdiri dari many culture ya, beberapa bahasa ya, aneka ragam budaya seni dari Sabang sampai Merauke yang dideklarasikan berdasarkan Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. Saya sebagai ikon dari anak-anak Indonesia sangat respect sekali dengan film-film ini, karena Indonesia itu dari segi seni budaya dan lain sebagainya itu menjadi perhatian dunia ya. Karena apa? Dunia itu semua itu bercermin di Indonesia. Di Indonesia apa sih yang nggak ada? Nah, bener nggak? Dari segi makanan bermacam-macam, dari segi seni budaya bermacam-macam, dari Sabang sampai Merauke. Walaupun berbeda-beda, kita tetap satu jua. Dan mengenai agama juga begitu sama. Ada agama Islam, ada Hindu, ada Konghucu, Buddha, dan lain sebagainya. Mereka bersatu di bawah naungan Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. Ya, mudah-mudahan Indonesia ke depannya semakin maju dan semakin sukses. Dan saran saya buat anak-anak Indonesia nih ya, agar jangan lupa ya, rajin beribadah, ya, rajin sholat, jangan lupa rajin belajar juga. Dan pesan dari rekan Om Jin nih ya, dengan Bang Iwan dan bonekanya, apa pesannya buat anak-anak Indonesia?
Pesannya
Apa nih?
harus saling sayang kepada orang tua.
Saling sayang menyayangi.
Iya, Kak.
Iya, dari kecil kita harus tanamkan rasa sayang menyayangi tidak boleh berantem ya. Iya.